Welcome back to Dallas Insider, the home for every heartbeat, every headline, and every hope surrounding America's team. Today, we're diving into one of the most intriguing and potentially game-changing storylines of this offseason, the transformation of wide receiver George Pickens. The man who left Pittsburgh under a cloud of controversy is now making waves in Oxnard, and not for the wrong reasons. Cowboys Nation, what we're seeing here could be one of the biggest under-the-radar wins of the offseason. When the Cowboys traded for Pickens back in May, plenty of national voices doubted whether he could fit into the Dallas locker room. The narrative was simple: too much talent, too much drama. But inside the Star, the story is playing out differently. First-year head coach Brian Schottenheimer wasted no time setting the tone. From the very first meeting in his office, Pickens made it clear he wanted to be coached hard, he wanted to be pushed, and he wanted to win in Dallas. Since then, the results have been undeniable. According to multiple camp reports, Pickens has been one of the most electric players on the field, stacking up highlight reel catches like it's his personal brand. Deep routes? Check. Contested grabs? Check. Crisp footwork that leaves defensive backs stumbling? Absolutely. This is a player who is showing not just athletic dominance, but also maturity that many doubted he could achieve. In Pittsburgh, the headlines often focused on his emotional outbursts and visible frustration when the ball didn't come his way. Here in Dallas, Schottenheimer and his staff are flipping that script. And the chemistry with CeeDee Lamb? That's not just PR talk, it's real. The two have been spotted staying after practice for extra reps, breaking down defensive coverages together, and building a bond that could become one of the most dangerous duos in the NFC. Let's be real. Pickens has every reason to shine this year. He's in the final year of his rookie contract, meaning every catch, every touchdown, every big play is also a message to the league and to Jerry Jones that he's worth investing in. And while the national odds have the Cowboys at plus 180 to make the playoffs, what's brewing in this locker room could tilt those numbers quickly. Here's the thing, Cowboys Nation. The great teams don't just sign stars, they build them. They take raw talent, shape it with discipline, surround it with leadership, and unleash it when it matters most. That's exactly what's happening with George Pickens. If his camp performance translates to the regular season, Dallas won't just have added another weapon to Dak Prescott's arsenal, they'll have unlocked a player who could turn the tide in critical games, including that Week 1 showdown against the Eagles. So, here's my question to you. Do you think George Pickens will become a breakout star for the Cowboys this season? Or will old habits resurface when the pressure is on? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is one storyline we're going to be tracking every step of the way. And remember, here on Dallas Insider, we don't just report the news, we live it with you. All right, Cowboys Nation, let's talk about the headline that just won't go away. Micah Parsons and his looming contract extension. Every major sports outlet, every debate table, every social media thread has the same talking point. When will Dallas pay Micah? And look, I get it. He's not just the face of our defense. He's arguably the most disruptive defensive player in the NFL. But here's the truth you won't hear from the national media. The Cowboys aren't dragging their feet because they don't value him. They're doing it because they're playing the long game. And it might just be the smartest move they've made in years. Micah still has one more year on his rookie deal, plus the fifth-year option, which Dallas has already exercised. That means the front office has leverage. Leverage they can use to keep this roster competitive, while also preparing for the biggest payday in team history. We're talking about a deal that could easily push past $150 million with $100 million guaranteed. You don't rush into that without making sure the cap math works for everyone. Here's what the talking heads miss. The Cowboys aren't just managing Micah's contract, they're managing a future where CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Smith, and possibly George Pickens will all be in line for new deals. Locking Micah in right now, before the new TV money kicks in and the cap rises again, could actually limit what Dallas can do in free agency next year. By waiting,
they might be able to structure a deal that keeps the core together instead of forcing tough cuts. And don't think for a second that Micah doesn't understand the business side. Sure, he wants to be paid, who wouldn't? But he's also a competitor who knows his best shot at a ring comes with a deep, talented roster around him. In fact, his comments at camp last week spoke volumes. He said, "I'm here to work. Contracts take care of themselves. I'm chasing a championship." That's not lip service. That's leadership. Plus, there's a strategic advantage to letting Nick Bosa, TJ Watt, and Myles Garrett's deals set the market before locking in Micah's numbers. Every time a rival star resets the edge rusher market, Dallas gets a clearer picture of where the top end will land. It's like playing poker. You don't show your hand until you know the cards on the table. So, Cowboys fans, here's why this matters. A rushed extension might make us feel better in the short term, but it could hurt our championship window in the long term. The Cowboys have been criticized for their pay-your-own philosophy in the past, but when it comes to franchise-altering players like Micah Parsons, patience isn't a sign of hesitation. It's a sign of strategy. Micah is the cornerstone of Dan Quinn's defensive vision. He's the guy who forces offensive coordinators to rip up game plans by Wednesday. And when the deal gets done, and it will, it's going to be massive, market-setting, and structured in a way that keeps Dallas in the hunt for years to come. So let's turn it over to you, Cowboys Nation. Should Jerry Jones and the front office lock up Micah right now? Or do you agree that waiting could set Dallas up for a stronger future? Drop your take below, because this debate isn't slowing down anytime soon, and you can bet we'll be covering every twist and turn right here on Dallas Insider.
The Cowboys are standing at a pivotal crossroads, and what's most impressive is how unified the locker room feels despite the external noise. Brian Schottenheimer's leadership, paired with Jerry Jones' willingness to make bold moves, has created a unique atmosphere of trust and purpose. This isn't just about chasing wins, it's about building a foundation that can carry this team deep into the postseason year after year. And the players are clearly buying in. George Pickens, for example, arrived in Dallas with a lot of media baggage and questions about his temperament. Yet his time with the Cowboys has been defined more by effort and connection than controversy. Teammates like CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott have praised his work ethic, saying he's fully engaged in the playbook and consistently competing hard in practice. That's the type of cultural shift that turns individual talent into championship-level production. When the locker room holds each other accountable, you don't just improve skill, you build resilience. The same energy applies to Micah Parsons. While contract talks are an ever-present topic in NFL circles, Micah has kept his focus razor-sharp. He's dominating in practice, pushing younger teammates, and sending a clear message. This is his defense. His combination of elite pass rushing and vocal leadership could be the very thing that tips the scales in the Cowboys' favor during the most crucial games of the season. Then there's Tyler Smith, who has quietly become one of the most reliable players on the roster. Offensive line stability is a luxury in today's NFL, and Smith's continued growth has allowed Schottenheimer to expand the playbook. Whether it's opening lanes for the run game or giving Dak extra seconds in the pocket, Smith is the kind of unsung hero championship teams need. Najee Harris's potential addition to this mix still looms over every discussion. If the Cowboys can finalize a deal, the offense's balance could reach new heights. Imagine a backfield rotation featuring Harris's power running alongside explosive plays from Tony Pollard's replacement, whoever that may be. That kind of depth forces defenses to stay honest, creating more opportunities for Lamb, Pickens, and tight end Jake Ferguson to exploit mismatches downfield. From a fan's perspective, this season feels different. The blend of star power, depth, and a front office willing to make aggressive moves suggests the Cowboys are no longer content with simply making the playoffs. They're aiming higher, and the roster is being built with January and even February in mind. Of course, in the NFL, nothing is guaranteed.
But the way this team is being assembled shows that Dallas is prepared for the grind, not just the highlight reel. Now, it's your turn, Cowboys Nation. Do you believe this roster has what it takes to finally break through and bring another Lombardi trophy back to Dallas? With the mix of proven veterans, hungry young stars, and possible big-name additions, is this the most balanced Cowboys team we've seen in years? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments.